Buffet to. Welcome back to Tavern Talk. I'm George Wanyani. I'm welcoming you back. Glad to see y'all back. But I'm not by myself. I got Zanda representing Platinum Stars. Say hello to Buffet.
Why you gotta diss the platinum province like that? You know we don't have any representative anymore in the league. But anyways,
It's not
yeah,
a diss, my friend. It's not a diss.
we got the jerseys because they were given by the provincial people, you know. So, anyways, yeah, hello everyone. Good to be back. Been a minute.
It's been a minute. We missed you. But we're not all by ourselves. Zanda and I, we got in Tangeni. Tangeni, always looking fresh up here. Say hello.
Hello Mzanzi. Good evening, Dimadekwana, Riperele, Abshin, Dimelang, Sanbonani, Kuenat. Welcome back. It's been a wonderful weekend of football.
That it has been. That it has been. Hey, he's not letting our international viewers go. He's saying hello, Mzansi, and everybody else. KB, say what's up.
Tumela Lote, hey, it's your boy Cavelo, giving you lots of disky love all the way from South Africa. Let's go, man.
Let's go get it. Yeah, like Ntangeni said, a lot of beautiful football happening this weekend. Let's start off by Man City versus Southampton.
Got it.
Ah, a whole lot of things happened. Haaland already equaled De Bruyne's top goals league scored last season.
Yep.
This boy, 9 games only,
Mm.
and he's banging them, and he doesn't look like stopping. KB,
And
thoughts?
Yeah, well, for me, the standout man, well, rather, let me start off by saying overall good match. I think, um, yeah, it was almost, I think halftime we were all wondering if, the Haaland would score a goal or not. But overall, a good match. My man of the match definitely was Cancelo.
Yeah,
I think he played a very, very critical game, that guy. In fact, it makes me wonder if this guy never played an attacking midfielder before, previous to coming to City, because
he was
he's just
terrorizing
hey man,
Southampton, eh?
he was
Yo,
playing some moves that you would wish some of the midfielders were doing.
midfielder guys that would be
Yeah,
playing, yeah.
but like I say, is that City didn't give any chance to Southampton to to try and do. I think they only had one attempt at goal throughout the whole game, Southampton, and I don't even know if that was even on target. Against by halftime already, Man
Mm.
City had 12 attempts at goal, so there was really no opportunity given to Southampton to do anything there. So yeah. Um,
Yeah. Yeah,
really
yeah,
sad.
it was a match. It was men against boys right there. I don't
True,
know, according to me.
true.
Xander, what do
Yeah.
you?
At some point, I was watching with the old man here, and he was like, "But why is this team not crossing the center line? Why are they
Yeah,
not getting to the other half?" And
right.
I'm like,
You know, even they were afraid to pressure the defense, City's defense. They always stood back, and City was just playing around and like, okay,
yeah,
let's go attack.
they were like absorbing the pressure.
Mm.
Not that they did good with that, but they called it upon themselves to get walloped. And
Yeah,
yeah, it was one of those games, man. I was like, oh, okay, Haaland is not gonna score on this one. And then he hit his 20.
you know, I actually thought that Pep told him, "Hey, Haaland, this game, please do not score because of the petition that is going around." Uh, Tagani,
Hey,
what do you think of the petition? The petition to get the Haaland off out of the league. I think it's almost 2 million signatures on that petition already.
You see, what I like about dry humor,
Yeah,
it's exactly that. And already at 21 years old, they're elevating him to a cult status,
that
so
is
to
true.
speak. I mean, if I were to tell you the stats that are scary, out of 19 shots on target, he
Mm.
scored 15. He's got
Dude,
3 assists.
dude.
I mean, guys,
18 goal contributions.
it's scary for somebody to have that rate at that young age. And I know, like I told you last week when I said Pep Guardiola was saying he must be more on the ball and all that. But if you look at him, he's not selfish. He's
That's true.
always looking for his teammate.
That is
He's
true.
always playing for his team. He's everywhere where you need him to be. So for me, I don't know what the coach wants more out of this boy. Instead of saying, look, all I want to do is just put my foot on the table, let this boy enjoy football, because that's what he's doing right now. I mean, I saw even the commentators, it, it, it got into a point where it's not whether it's going to score or not. It's like, it's about
How
when.
many? Yeah,
Yeah,
when?
how many
When it's
goals?
gonna
You
happen?
know it's going to score.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it was actually a laughing matter when everybody else was scoring, but you look at it, Haaland, he was not bothered. He was not under
Yeah.
pressure.
I
he,
saw
he,
the
he was
comments.
he didn't become selfish. So for me, that petition, it's more like it's a good joke. And to be
Yeah.
honest, by end of this year, even if we get 100 million votes, or I mean 100 million people sign for it, imagine when this boy goes to the World Cup, what's going to happen?
But he's not going to the World Cup, eh?
No, I'm saying,
Uh,
imagine if he had to go to the World
he
Cup,
had
what
to,
would have
yeah.
happened?
And
Yeah.
imagine he's not going to the World Cup. He's not going to be tired when the second half of the season comes through. He's going to be raring to go. So
He's
hey,
gonna
Good
be
point.
it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem.
Yeah, maybe you might lack match fitness there. 2 months of not playing football.
But like you're always saying, these are professionals.
True.
So they'll definitely not be chilling around and just
Can I can I
basking
say
in the sun
something
the
in
whole time.
Veneca so that you guys understand Haaland?
Mm.
Guys, Haaland ajuli.
O tlo thola medi, o tlo thola medi.
I'm telling you,
Trust me.
that boy
In
can
the
run
E-
90 minutes
in
non-stop.
the
So
EPL, you're
for
gonna
now, I'm talking about for now. Now we are covered.
see there's
the
gonna
two
be
months
group.
break is gonna get him sorted on the
You
deal.
know
Yeah,
what? This is England. They'll be throwing themselves at him
there's
left, right,
groupies
and
there.
center, bro.
In the EPL, there's so many groupies. You cannot
Yeah.
No,
compare them to
Yeah,
Germany.
they are professional groupies.
There's professionals one that literally go and wait outside the stadium, and they'll know where you do your haircut. They'll know where you
Mm,
do your
true,
shopping.
true that, true
They,
that.
the wife of
dude,
football.
if we have a professional groupies here in South Africa, hey, what about there?
Yeah.
Where they earn in pounds? Ah, bro. No.
So guys, we're saying essentially, just to give perspective, in all games that uh, City has played this season, which are 13 games, by the way, this boy has scored 20 goals.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Kylian Mbappe has fallen off.
You know,
So you know from
15 in
what?
the league. Yeah, dude.
Remember,
This guy
Kylian
is
Mbappe
just
was the youngest player to have scored 20 goals in the first 20 games. He had scored, I think, 16 or 17, and he had taken that record from Lionel Messi. So he's achieved that feat in 13 goals.
you know,
I mean, in
Ndageni,
13 games, sorry.
Ndageni, Lionel Messi, Ronaldo, they set the bar. So it needs to be topped. And this boy Haaland is showing that, okay, it's the bar. Now I'm moving it up.
I
So
don't think.
no,
talking
I
about now?
don't think
Are we
it's.
talking about
I don't
what
think.
bar? What bar? It's too early to talk about raising bars here, George.
uh,
But no, we're talking about scoring goals,
scoring
Okay,
breaking
goals,
records.
okay,
scoring goals,
Yeah.
goal
yeah,
scoring.
No, no, no. We're not comparing. We're not there yet. It's still
yeah.
Yeah,
early.
We're not there yet.
no, not legendary status like that.
Yeah,
Like
okay.
No.
Mm.
the
Like
digits, the
being the
numbers.
first player to reach the fastest 100 goals in the professional league, all those things. That's
Mm.
what we're talking about.
Yeah,
So
okay.
I'm saying he's not even raising the bar. He's trampling on that bar.
Okay.
He's trampling it. Honestly, think about it.
No, no, no. I personally think for him to do it in the EPL, definitely it's trampling. If you're doing it in a farmers league like about France, I didn't even know that Mbappe held such a record before.
Yeah.
So it really didn't matter. But come and do it in the EPL, for sure. You
And
definitely.
then they're doing it so well. Yo, they're making this league look easy,
Yeah, yeah.
and
Well,
it's
Mhm.
not easy. You could
No,
see from years and years back, a couple of years back, this league is not easy, but they're making it look like I walk in a park. City is the only team that's unbeat. That's doesn't have a loss. They have draws. They have lost points. Now they are the only ones left without an L to their names, and I don't see where the L is gonna come from.
hey man, they drew against Aston Villa. They drew against Newcastle.
Yeah, I'm
They will
saying
lose
they don't
against
have an
Spurs.
L. They do have draws.
I know.
mm.
What I mean is that if a team like Newcastle could keep them, from winning, or even a Aston Villa could keep them from winning, there will be another team that will keep them
But
from scoring.
that was like, you know, they were gelling, they were getting their groove in. But now, the way that they're playing now, bro, I honestly,
What
I
do
don't
you mean?
see,
The
I
game
don't
Now
was
see
they are
any.
on song, eh? They are on song. I
Uh,
mean, Kevin De Bruyne is making the things,
yeah.
and everybody else is doing the pots.
mm,
So they are on song.
Okay, all right, gents. I'm not disputing, the capability of City and Pep's playing. I'm saying that this is the EPL, man. In football, we don't have therefore.
there's no there for in football.
Yeah,
No,
True.
they're gonna lose to Bradford or something like that. Is
but Nottingham Forest can surprise and just take a win against them.
No, no, no. I agree. Just one for the to pick your brain, guys. Don't you think the English national team wish they pounced on this young man when he was still young?
Who? Haaland. Say that again.
The English national team.
Yeah.
Don't you think they wish they could have pounced on him when he was young?
So that he can play for England instead of.
Yeah. Remember, he was born in Leeds.
Mm,
He's an English-born player
hey.
from a Norwegian
But
family.
there's a lot of national teams that have a lot of shoulda, coulda, wouldas, eh?
Yeah.
No, no, I'm just saying now that you're looking at your Kane, you're looking at Gareth, what they're going through as a national
Mm.
team. You look back. I mean, here's a boy, first season. He's whether you wanna jump with him, he's gonna beat you. Whether you wanna shoot with left or right, he's gonna beat you. So look, you sit back and you look, you're like, what happened to our so-called scouts? How
Mm.
did they miss
yeah,
this one?
you blame
I
Gareth
just wanted to pick your
Southgate
brain. Just to pick your brain, guys. Nothing much. Yeah. Okay.
But the thing is, as well, yes, I know yes, he was good, but you wouldn't have known he'd be that good. You know,
That's that's the
everything is a
job of a
gamble.
scout. No,
Everything
that's
is a
the
gamble.
when
I,
Manchester
but
listen when Manchester United scouted what's his name, David Beckham.
Mm.
How old was David Beckham? He was very young when they took him. So my point is, you see, let's not
So
forget one thing. To make the English Premier League to be what it is the scouts. Remember that come with the
no, you
statistics.
have to bring in fresh new talent, world-class talent, in order to
Exactly.
make the league what it is. I get that.
Yeah. So for me, remember those guys are professional. They get paid good money to bring these players. So for
Mm,
me, it's no excuse, especially for the EPL. We are at a level where, look, they are competing. They are second to none if we were to think
mm.
about it. So it's no reason. I mean, we've seen teams going to fetch Neymar. I mean, Neymar before he even played professional in Brazil, they
Mm.
were already scouting him in Europe. So that's what I'm talking about to say, yeah, it begs to, you know, that question that we give to footballing community to say, not only here, even when he was playing in Norway, when he went to
Yeah,
Dortmund, when he was playing for Zolberg, all those teams. I mean, we're not talking more than 5 years. We're talking 3, 4 years.
Yeah.
yeah, it hasn't been that long. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, let's move on. Let's not dwell. Man City now is the team that we need to bet against.
But that conversation, man. It's what has, I would believe, also drained Africa of its talent, because you find a lot of African talent that has gone and decided to
To
play
play elsewhere. Yeah.
the country. So again, how is it that CAF or the individual country
Mm.
associations can help to stop that talent from exiting the shores? It's,
Mm.
yeah,
No,
I
I
mean,
hear you. I hear you, Cabello. Uh,
yeah, I mean, Ross Barkley was born
South
in.
Africa should have scouted him, eh?
No, 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 no. What I mean is, there's a lot of
just
South African born.
Wishful,
Yeah.
wishful thinking, wishful thinking.
There's a lot of South African talent that is born, or just say South African, but there's African born talent.
African talent that is born
Yeah,
outside of Africa, but
yeah.
the the heritage is in South Africa
Right.
or elsewhere in the continent.
Yeah.
But they
Benzema was
choose to
born in
represent those other countries.
France benefited immensely from such.
Nigeria. Eh?
France has benefited immensely from such
A
No,
lot, yeah.
that's true. That's
all
true.
the time for many years. They even
Yeah.
won the World
I think that one it becomes more politics than than football. For me,
Colonization. How
yes,
colonialism.
Mm.
we are now being colonized through that because and most of us have traveled Africa. So if you
Mm.
go get a player like that and say to them, not everybody's not strong mentally. You say to them, look, if you sign for my team, I take the whole family
Mm.
and bring them to Europe for free. That
Cup.
guy, he never wanted to make money out of football per se. He just wanted to get out of poverty. Now, here you are. He's not him alone, it's the whole family. What would he do? He's going to sign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, it's more politics because you're right. If you had a country that will sit and have a direct and clear a plan for their players, Africa would have the best league in the world. We'll probably be winning all these World Cups.
Yeah.
I mean, as it is, look at how big Africa is. We only produce 5 teams compared to other teams. If we were to go to statistics, we're supposed to be producing 10 teams compared to other continents. So
Mm.
there's a lot of politics. And if you've got 5 teams, it means essentially you've got about 112, if not 132 players in a country that's in a continent that's got almost a billion people
Mm.
that can make World Cup. Now you go to Europe. Europe has almost triple the amount with less number. We're talking Western Europe now. So
Yeah.
do you see that people end up doing what? I rather go where my statistics of making it to the World Cup
Slightly
are
higher.
greater than. So that's why I'm saying there's a whole lot of dynamics. Yeah, but yeah, it's a topic for another day. I think we will do this during the World Cup because we'll
Yeah.
have time to discuss
Yeah.
this national issue
That's a
themselves.
good topic for the World Cup, eh?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm. Like Mbappe and Cameroon. But hey.
Yeah.
uh, Speaking about strikers, Harry Kane does it again. He pops up every now and then. Against Brighton, Spurs 1-0 victors. Was an interesting game. Ntangeni, what do you think?
Look, like I said, when we were talking about, I was talking about Holland. Of
Yeah.
course, I was looking at Harry Kane to say Harry Kane. Probably this will be his last World Cup. I don't see him making
After
it
this, yeah.
after this. So, meaning they need somebody who's gonna be consistent the way he's been. You know.
Mm.
Look, I think with experience, dedication, and what do you call this? Uh, Discipline. He's achieved what he's achieved. I mean, I know I'm being harsh when I say to you that Harry Kane will probably not make the next World Cup because
But
he's only 29. He's only 29 years old.
mm.
So,
But
but being
29 for a striker at 33
two,
in the World
33,
Cup.
you're done.
Yeah.
Yeah. So look, he like I said, he reminds me of Lodonsky. He reminds me of Jachen
Yeah.
Klinsmann. I
Mm.
can count few strikers that way, where the staying power and were consistent. Yes, it's not a 35, 40 goals striker per
But
season, but
his goal return this season is quite good.
that's what
And
I'm saying.
let's not
He
look at
gives you,
Mbappe. I mean, Haaland, but yeah.
yeah. Well, look, yeah. So look, like I've always said when I give my predictions that, hey, depending on the team that you play, I can tell you if Harry Kane is going to score or not. So he's got that temperament. It's just that for me, sometimes he puts so much pressure on himself that he forgets that his job is not to pull the
To go
team.
get the ball and
Yeah,
feed other players. He
yeah,
has to stay in front and just preserve your
thank you.
energy. Play like Haaland. If he played
That's
like
it.
more like him, then he'd score
Yeah,
a bit more. But he's an overall player, not just a striker. He
yeah.
comes back to 10 and helps out and stuff.
You see, so yes, look for me, I think he's like you said, he's got a good return, but
Like this season, he scored 8 goals out of 9 league games.
you see, that's a good
That,
return.
that's an excellent return.
It
You
is,
know,
yeah. For this season, yes, it's 9 matches, and
mm,
in UEFA, he's played 3 years and scored.
yeah,
EFL played five, only scored one. Europa League, he played last season, 2022. I mean, 2020, 2021.
mm.
He played eight and he scored eight, so it means it's 100% strike rate.
100%. Dude, you can't
So,
complain about that.
no, you cannot. His statistics are good, and it's just that I'm worried to say, does he would he be able to go beyond your 33 point mark at the same? I'm not expecting him to give me 100% strike rate, but if he can give me 70, I think then it's good because that's what you need. They
Yeah.
need to blood in the new person, but I don't see. I see these black kids, your Sterling, your Raheem, all of these. But I
Mm.
don't see them being outright strikers. I see them more as wingers
Yeah.
because they want to be more fleshy on the ball, run, cut the field, and all those things.
Cut in and yeah.
For the
Yeah,
national team.
yeah. We're talking national team. No, we're just talking Tottenham, but we're saying, what do we think of Harry Kane? So I was saying, when I spoke about Haaland for the national team, this is what I was thinking because I was looking at Harry Kane to say he's almost at the peak of his career. After this World Cup, I don't see him coming back for the next World Cup. So, meaning at this World Cup, they're supposed to have one or two players that are
To take
potential.
over from him.
Yeah, and those players need to be less than 23 years old.
Mm.
And I'm not seeing that. And especially when we look at his statistics this season, I think he's playing one of his best footballs in his
Yeah.
career.
Okay.
Mm.
What do you think, KB? What do you think of the game, actually?
Uh,
Not just of Kane.
yeah, so and maybe this will speak to, sort of what Ndai was referring to. Personally, I feel, the style of Conte doesn't support him to get to that 33 mark. That
Mm,
percent might be hard if you compare him to what Pochettino used to, play him like before, where he had three attacking players: Deli Ali, Son, and him, and
yeah,
those three were just,
they
going
were
at it.
feeding him.
Yeah,
Mm.
they were just going at it. I feel somewhat this season, unlike last season, Conte is playing a different football or different play, and
Like,
it's not making, or it's not allowing Kane. Oh, I don't think it will allow Kane to get to that. I think he has to come and pick up the ball quite a bit deep,
mm,
and bring it closer. That's my thoughts. Yeah, he doesn't have. Well, Son is there, and probably Ferguson is also there. But
mm.
looking at this game that just played now, against, who do they?
Against the Brighton.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, against
But
Brighton.
looking at this game, I don't know because uh, he changed the formation. He
Okay.
changed from 3-4-3 to 3-5-2. He
Yeah,
didn't play the three strikers.
yeah.
He added Mbasuma so that there's five in the midfield. So I don't know whether he'll carry on with that, and that might help Kane maybe stay slightly forward.
I don't think it will make him stay forward. You've got a lot of people going back in to defend, right? And
Yeah,
you playing a
it's
team like
too
Brighton.
defensive minded.
Yeah, playing a team like Brighton that is, I would say, somewhat on form.
Mm,
It pushed him. And I mean, look, let's take it even back to the game prior to Arsenal. It was the same thing where he was almost forced to have all the players behind the ball, right?
yeah.
Including Son at one moment or two. They would all come behind the ball and sort of, try and defend and try and get that ball and, run transition as the whole team forward. It doesn't give Kane those things. What
Mm.
Haaland has different compared to him is that Haaland gets to go to that position and he can come in and tap in the ball, right? I mean, a majority of those 20 goals were just tap ins, right? Um, and Kane doesn't have that opportunity. He has to do the work, or he has to get a set piece, like a corner or something, to score those goals. So, yeah,
So it talks about the support
yeah,
that he has.
correct.
He has to be, I don't know, the butter and the bread, and then
Yeah,
uh, eat it too
yeah, yeah,
himself,
yeah,
type thing.
yeah.
So he unlike the other teams, see, then he's working at a disadvantage. But at that disadvantage, he's still doing well.
Yeah, but I mean, like I say, is that take nothing away from
Kane.
Brighton. They are a good team.
Brighton is quite good, yeah,
Yeah,
this
this
season.
season they're on form.
Mm.
Yeah, I think maybe two more games. I mean, they're still third on the log. It doesn't mean that.
Seventh.
Seventh.
I'm saying Tottenham, Spurs is still third on the log.
Oh yes, yes,
Oh, yeah, Spurs, definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
look, it will take them to lose a game and a half for the next team to catch up with them.
correct, correct.
So yeah,
Uh,
Tama Khatli so busy
uh,
game.
so, huh?
The Tama Khatli so busy game.
No,
Zanda.
I was just
We're not the Tottenham game. What do you think?
changing places.
Tottenham.
Oh no, I didn't see nothing with the Tottenham game.
Right. Moving on.
I know nothing about Kane.
Um, so the next game that we saw was Mr. Tangeni and KB's favorite team at the Stamford Bridge with the Chelsea shirt this week around. We let go of the PSG.
No more.
So there was a lot of changes to the starting lineup of Chelsea, but they still did well. So what did you think of the changes? What did you think of the game? KB.
Well, the one noticeable one was that right at the back, Fafana is out. He picked up an injury against AC Milan. So obviously Choloba had to start the game,
But
which obviously wasn't.
he was
Eh?
no, no, he
Yeah,
wasn't the right. You were saying
I wasn't saying he wasn't the right, but okay.
no. I'm saying you were saying. Nah, I actually thought he was all right.
Yeah, I wasn't saying he
Uh,
wasn't the bad start or choice. I think he was quite good at the back. Um, I think Koulibaly also got a start first
yeah.
time under Potter.
No, they played Fafana and Koulibaly. The
Oh,
starting lineup for Chelsea was Cap. No, yeah,
Kepa,
Kappa at the back.
Kepa.
Aspalaqueto, Chalaba, Koulibaly, Cucurella at the back. Loftus Cheek, Jorginho, Pulisic, Mount, Gallagher, and Havertz.
Yes. So I'm saying, so Caesar, the captain, was his first start, under
Mm.
Potter. Koulibaly, I might be wrong. I don't know in AC Milan if he started, but I know, I think this was also, no, actually, this was also his first start. Thiago Silva took a rest,
Yeah.
so Koulibaly started the game. Cucurella, obviously, also this is his first start. So the whole of defense, they were having their first start this weekend
Yeah.
under the new coach, right? Um, and then obviously Conor Gallagher also.
Yeah.
I think he's a good player, man. I just love him. I love the boy. I've said it before, even when TT was still in charge, even though TT was, putting a lot of pressure on him to make hard tackles and to become aggressive. I still believed in him. Jorginho, for me, he's now becoming on and off, man. I'm not so excited
You're
about.
not sold this season.
Yeah, back in the days when Sari came with him, we I was excited about his style, and he had a different play altogether. He wasn't there to score. He's almost like your Thiago at
Yeah.
Liverpool. So I enjoyed that about him. But yeah, one thing I would say is Havertz is not a striker for me. He scored, yes, but he's not a
And
striker.
out and out lethal
Yeah,
striker. I
we
actually thought this game Pulisic had quite a couple of misses,
Pulisic
for
also.
me.
I mean, Pulisic. Yeah, this boy, man. I think in his first season under Frank, that was the only season I enjoyed. Ever since then, he's just another player on the squad.
Downhill.
Yeah, not bad, but he's just average, man, for me.
Alright. Okay, Ntangeni, I know you had thoughts about this game.
Look, very interestingly enough, right? I looked at their game against Milan
Mm.
and their game, of course, against Wolves, which I think the coach is doing something. Last time I saw something like this was your Ferguson, your Mushine Chugrao, where uh, he could play a whole new team, play another cup or another league, and
Mm.
then come to this place. Because look at the people that scored. It's 3-0 during the week against Milan, 3-0 over the weekend, and totally different scorers altogether. No one
Mm.
was repeated, so to speak. So one moment you think maybe there's no consistency, but then you look at, and I hope when we play Milan tomorrow, that's what he's doing to say, I want to have this type of players playing in Europe and this type of players being able to
Playing in
anchor.
the league.
Yeah, yes,
Mm.
I agree with Gabriel when he says Havertz, I don't think he's a striker. And I'm not thinking he wants to make him a striker, but he's saying, "Can you play false striker for me?"
Can you
And
take that Firmino role and
look, whether it's gonna work or not, for now, let's give credit. It's worked. It's
he's
working.
trying something?
We won.
Potter
They
is
never
coming.
scored.
Yeah.
But yes, it was a difficult game if you think of it. We made a meal of it because basically the whole of
Mm.
45 minutes we were struggling to score. We scored
The
45
second
minutes
half,
in
yeah.
half. Yeah. So do you see my point when I say yes in the beginning, maybe because players were trying to fit into this new.
But you know what? It's understandable because you know making that many changes to a starting lineup
Yeah.
will need a little bit of adjustment.
Yeah. So like I said, as a fan, I might not agree with certain tactics, but
Mm.
I'm saying because you're winning, probably you're seeing something that I don't see. Let me give you a chance. It's working. Until
Yeah.
maybe when we get exposed, then I might say, oh, damn. But
Yeah.
for now, because I see he's trying to push for that Champions League again.
Yeah.
I mean, he's giving attention. If you look at the quality of players he plays
No.
in, in the UEFA
In the
versus the
Champions
league,
League
then you can see that he wants to get to the group stages. I mean, to the knockout stage. And
knockout.
perhaps,
Mm.
yeah, perhaps when he was called, that was one of the things that they told him to say, look,
Mm.
you get us to the knockout stages, we'll fix the team next season. I don't
Mm.
know. And time will tell. Of course, when he starts winning these things and he starts commenting, then you will get to hear him and understand what his mandate.
What do you think?
Uh,
What do you think of Mendy, man, on the bench? Um,
Hey, my guy, like I said, ne,
uh,
it's a painful, a really painful one. And now, especially where they haven't conceded in the last two games,
yeah.
it, it, you want to fault the coach, but how do you fault the coach when he's not conceding?
Tell me something. I hear that Kappa versus Mendy.
Kepa.
Mendy Kappa. Apologies. Mendy is not as vocal as Kappa. And is that true? On the field, that is, to control the defensive line, to tell the players, uh, is that true? Or is that the reason why they're trying him out and then because he is a good player. He is a good keeper.
Look,
Both of
okay,
them.
before KB goes, personally, and with the little games that I've watched,
Yeah.
I doubt he might. You see, he's vocal. Maybe he might not be vocal, same as Kepa. Ne?
Okay.
So, I mean, it's a pity in English football. They don't respect AFCON. Remember, this is the guy who lifted the AFCON. And because
Mm.
of his heroics. So, saying to that person, he's not vocal, I find it a little bit more, you know, it
Disrespectful.
yeah, it is. It's not something that he could say. He might say, look, I'm trying to see my combination at the back. Don't
Mm.
say he's not vocal. I mean, this guy, he pulled miracles for Chelsea.
Yeah,
Mm.
So,
yeah,
yeah, that's my opinion.
yeah. I was about to say is that also you must remember Chelsea when it comes to its defense line, whether it be Silva or whether it be Caesar, um,
Yeah.
those are sort of your quality captains at the defense. You have them screaming and yelling all the time throughout the game, consistently.
Qualities of a captain is
Yeah,
supposed to be, yeah,
yeah,
giving instructions and all of that. Yeah.
100%. So you don't get a chance, or rather you. Why would you still need somebody else who screams there? I don't understand. Like you already got, like I say, within your defense line, you've got quality people that are looking at the game thoroughly throughout the game. Screaming
And
minute to minute. Um, what exactly is it? I mean, Mendy could just say, "Hey, Silva, you know, on the left, we're not doing it. Tell Chilwell or Cabrera to come back, and Silva will make sure that that message is relayed. You know, I don't think that's
And
the
because that those instructions are coming from the back line, they also see the whole pitch.
yeah
It's not like
yeah.
they
Silva is
don't
always the
see.
last man. Silva is always the last man. I mean,
Mm,
even when the captain is there, Cesar is there, Silva will remain at the back, man. He will be the last man. When that ball gets kicked out from a corner kick, he will be the one to pick the man that will, be running with it. So, yeah, my thoughts are, I'm really at first I was worried how each coach, even TT, how he's going to manage both of these goalkeepers because both of them for me they're doing good, Kepa and Mendy. I was just concerned as to how you're going to keep them, motivated.
both happy
Yeah,
because both quality keepers.
and look at it this way: is that in the before the season started in the transfer window, we bought another keeper, a young boy from America. So it really what makes me think is there perhaps maybe something that they are planning or intending on doing
And the pipeline, yeah.
to
Because the thing is,
upgrade Mendy? Is that you know what? In 2 years' time, when he has to go for that AFCON, we don't need him. Let's prepare this youngster to be ready. I mean, we're talking about a 16-year-old, 17-year-old goalkeeper that we signed. So maybe that's a sign that the African goalkeeper might not be needed in the future going forward.
they're trying to mitigate that what happened when he was gone.
But
Jorge.
keepers,
No, I know that uh, there was adequate cover, so that if the cover is not proper at that time, at least they have tried to mitigate that risk.
yeah.
But you know what? Like I said, I think this will be a great topic for the World Cup. Again,
Mm.
I think we undervalue African players when they go to AFCON, which again influences them to switch from AFCON to the Europa League.
Mm.
It's things like this where we know. I don't know if now I've spoken to these players. Some of them, look, it's a conversation they even have with their agents to say, look, I've
Mm.
spoken to the management.
They would rather go.
They would pay you even more for you to
Mm.
stay behind and not risk it. They need you. So already when you're being told that, you are conflicted. And some of the players, they still feel I need to make more money. So what do? They stay behind because they need that bonus. You remember Steven Pinal when he actually faked an injury. I
Mm.
think and then they eventually made him a captain because somebody just went and spoke to him and said, look, national team over everything else. So it's things like that where,
National pride. Mm.
yes. So for me, and like I say again, the EPL disrespects the AFCON. And
So
until the respect is given,
yeah.
I mean, when these guys go to Brazil, because remember it's the same season as us, do they make
Yeah.
just as much noise as they do when African players go?
Yeah,
Well,
Brazilian players.
the whole of La Liga is gone because
Yeah.
Exactly.
the whole league is just full of South Americans.
No, it's true. So
Mm.
that's why I'm saying this will be a good topic for the World Cup. But
The World Cup, yeah.
yeah, I see what you're saying about Mendy, and you're right. They they are putting undue pressure on him about him leaving to say if you leave, you might come back and not even make the bench.
And not have space. Because
Yeah.
with the keeper, see, it's difficult because, hey, if the one keeper is in there, kicking him out, do you just have to wait for him to have a bad game,
Injury
injury,
or a bad game.
Injury,
or,
not even
yeah,
that game. Injury.
injury more than anything, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Another
I,
aspect, Speaking of another, that Hakim Ziyech. I mean, I know
Was it? Yeah.
he's now come out of international retirement. He was also he had retired from international duty, but now he's saying, "Oh, I'm coming back." I don't know if he thinks you know the coach would want him back, but he's one player also. I don't know why we're keeping him at Chelsea. Maybe you guys have a different opinion of him, different to me, but hey, that boy he's just he's just in it, man, for the money, or rather maybe not.
He's just filling up the numbers.
Yo,
Eh,
bet.
but you know, guys, ne, you need a bit of luck in these things.
Okay.
There are players that, when you think of it, they don't even deserve to be in the EPL,
Mm.
but you see them in and out there, and and whether we like it or not, this European teams, given an opportunity, they will choose their own kind than the foreigners. Because remember, there's that thing that you are flooding. So
Yeah.
not to sound very political, but
Mm.
there are people that they just have that, like a coach comes in, even if they're not playing, but they're there, they're sitting there earning their money. And like you say, why? Now he realizes why he needs to come out of international retirement. He realizes that he needs game time.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's it. It's game time. When I
Yeah.
get time, I renegotiate my contract at a better price. That's all. It's got nothing to do with anything else. Because
He's
all
Mm.
along is
game time.
happy. Not
Clubs are not interested in him. He
yeah.
wanted to leave Chelsea. Now, yeah.
And there weren't any offers.
Nah. I don't think AC Milan, I think, wanted to make an offer, but it was a lousy offer for him. He knew it.
Yeah, it wasn't the amount that he wanted. And
Correct.
But
if you have game time, if you play well, then you have clout to say, I don't
100%.
want this, I want this. So if
100%.
you're not playing, you can't say anything.
100%.
and
Right.
playing for Chelsea, it will be difficult to go to a smaller team. Eh?
Yeah.
Chelsea is not a small team at all.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And
It's
if you go into another team where you are not guaranteed game time, you might as well not move. Because remember, with these players, if they say to him, "Come over, we guarantee you 50% of the game," he might go.
Mm.
Some they even get up to 80% game time
Yeah.
guaranteed
No,
for them.
in the contract itself. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway,
All
yeah.
right, all right, all right. That's enough about Chelsea now.
Hey, you
Uh,
forgot to mention my boy Diego Costa getting a standing
oh
ovation.
yeah. That ovation that Chelsea
Yeah,
gave him was
yeah,
on point. On point, on
yeah,
point, on point.
Yep.
Give it up, Chelsea fans.
yeah,
They know their legends and then they respect.
yeah.
But this game he was kept quiet by the two
Uh,
defenders. Eh?
Diego is tired, man. He hasn't played a game
Diogo is old.
since
Eh?
December. He hasn't played a game since December, bro. So,
But he had time to get his fitness up.
hey, game fitness is not the same, bro. But I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah.
Mm.
He's old, man.
He's old, man.
You
And
know,
you could see
let's not
it.
What,
try and
46 years or how old is he?
I think
uh
36.
yeah, should be there. He's old. I mean, the Costa was there at Chelsea with who's the other
Actually
guy?
34.
Totti. Was it Totti?
Who?
You remember the Italian?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Francesco Totti.
Yeah, Francisco Totti went. He came back. Francisco Totti. He coached Costa. Do you remember? So this guy is
Mm.
old, guys. He's
Yeah,
old.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah. But
Uh,
anyway, good
uh,
for him. He's still playing at that age.
yeah. And speaking of players playing at that age, on Sunday, Ronaldo bagged his number 700 uh, for for the club for the clubs that he has played with. Four. Where my words going, man? Hey, man. but
700 club
that was,
club goals,
yeah,
right?
700 club goals.
Yeah.
So I see that he had a whole lot for Real Madrid, 450,
Was.
and on and on and on. Where Man United beat Everton 2-1. Was an interesting game, good game. Again, what did you think of the game?
I, look, honestly speaking, this is one game where, look, I thought Everton, and I think we spoke about this in one of the first few episodes,
Episodes.
to say these teams, they've got a potential to upset all these big teams. But somewhere, somehow, I don't know whether it's the coach, that bridge between the coach and players, where
Yeah.
Everton scores first and the confidence is shooting through the roof. They're supposed to go and settle the game,
Steal the deal.
and there, boom, they lose it. And when they lose it, I, and this is one thing that I don't understand by players. They go lose it, ne? Now
Mm.
they are frustrated, they're all over the place. They go back to the change room. When they come back, they are refreshed. Now, my question is, as a player, when you go in there, you don't see those things that the coach is telling you during halftime.
Mm.
So for me, yes, I know Man City. I mean, Man
Man
U.
United.
Look, guys, Everton was nowhere to be seen, and Man United should have done better.
Buried them. Remember Everton last season, they were almost relegated.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I mean, with the
So,
ball position that they had, with the quality of players that they have,
mm,
uh, 10 should have buried the team. But then again, like I said, when they come out of the change room for the second half, they it's like they were fighting for a draw.
more
Yeah.
than,
So
yeah.
let's not take risk because we will concede. But however, let's, you know, because if you look at it, Man U was the one that was committing more fouls than Everton. So that tells you that Everton
Yeah.
was waiting for Man U to come at them and hoping that they will equalize it.
They'll catch them on the counter or something to that
Yeah.
effect.
So for me, again,
Mm.
it's shooting themselves on the foot. When we talk about Everton, they are not playing to their what do you
Strength.
call this? To their potential. I mean,
So,
Frank Lampard can do better. He's coached Chelsea. He's coached, So for me, and I think he suffers from the same mentality that Gareth Southgate is suffering from.
mm,
When they played their football, in majority they were local teams. They were local lads that had one or two foreign players within the team. Now
mm.
you are sitting here where you have to manage multicultural team, which honestly
Societies. Yeah,
speaking, I doubt if they've got that experience. And I think that's where they are
mm.
struggling
So
to
you
play.
you you put the struggles of Everton on Lampard.
Yes, he
But
could do
how?
better.
But how? So if I look at, let's say, the last 10 years, for example, Everton has been coached by Rafa Benitez, Ancelotti. They've had who was before? Uh, who came in before Lampard? Uh,
Um,
Uh,
anyway, but they've
who's
had,
this guy who used to coach? Yeah, not Steven Pinar. There's quite a few people. Yeah,
yeah,
English
it's
mm,
English coach. I think he coached the national team as well.
it's quite big coaches that have come into to Everton. In fact, to give you a bit of stats also, Everton is amongst the top 10 highest net spend in the last decade, right? This is
oh yeah.
they've spent 430, they've got 430 million euros that they've spent. Chelsea is only sitting on 250 at that point, which means Chelsea is
Mm,
lower than them, meaning there's been a lot of spending that has been happening at Everton. They've had James Rodriguez. They've had, you know, who's that boy? Calvert Lewis.
Calvin
Yeah,
Lewis, yeah.
they've had a lot of names come in, and my thinking is, could it really be the coach, or could it be actually be the owners? Something along, behind the dressing room that is happening that we're not aware of.
Look, possibly there could be. Like I said, for me, I think Lampard more than anything, and it could be influenced by the boardroom politics. That when he gets to the field, to the change room,
Mm.
he's unable to deliver on what he wants because the boardroom
Yeah. Are telling
politics.
him that, hey, play this guy because his contract is saying this, or
Yeah,
play this because we bought him for this amount.
he can't sit on the
So
bench when we
maybe he
play
doesn't
goals.
have as much control as he's had in previous teams,
Hmm,
possibly. So,
possibly.
and then the changes of coaches left, right, and center is also playing havoc on the team because a coach comes with his mentality, his style of play, and
George,
the next coach.
Chelsea has had probably 10 coaches in 10 years, man. And we've won two Champions Leagues in that time. I don't understand what you mean. You know,
No, no.
the change of a coach, I think, is yes, it does change that destabilizes the team. However, like I say, is that there's also, like we say, boardroom politics possibly could be it. But fact is, they're bringing in high shooters. They're bringing in high. I mean, Ancelotti guys. You know
No,
these guys.
I get you. Quality coaches, that's
Yeah,
what they're bringing in.
yeah.
Well groomed
Champions
coaches,
League
like
winning coach.
big names.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's who they're
So,
bringing. So
Look,
it
I
must be the
would,
boardroom. I think the problem is in
I
the
would, I would investigate more for the next show,
boardroom.
just to have a look at the Everton history and their boardroom politics to
yeah.
see. Because you raised something that is very interesting that I never really looked at. I only looked at the coaches.
Mm.
And yeah, I thought maybe him not being able to manage that diverse team. But now when you put it this way, then I realize that, yeah, look, it could have been bigger than the
It's
coach.
bigger than
Because
that.
we
Mm.
are not faulting the player per se, because
Mm,
the players, we can see them.
yeah.
But we
Yeah.
just worried that why they're not gelling. And yeah, we'll investigate more.
Fun.
Coming to Man City again,
Man United.
I mean Man United. I don't know why I keep saying Man City. Man U. I'm suddenly not feeling. Maybe I'm too early to judge, but this coach, I don't know. I don't see. Generally
I
good or
think.
bad. He's sitting on the
Mm.
gray because you're either gonna be bad or you're either gonna be good, and he's sitting on the gray because one moment
Yeah, he's got good games, bad games. It's not. He's not consistent
he's
in.
not. He's not consistent in performing bad. He's not
Mm,
consistent in
mm.
performing good. So I don't know. I'm trying to figure him out. That what is it that he wants to do?
Oh,
Maybe you guys see it different, but you know what? I don't know. Maybe those fights with Ronaldo and the other team players in the beginning of the preseason maybe destabilized him.
Hey, yeah.
Yeah,
It's you know what, you know what. I feel 10 comes from a youthful team, and boys that listen to him maybe instantly. And coming to a dressing room where somebody has won 5 to 6 Champions Leagues, almost, saying, I know how to do this. And I'm not saying that Ronaldo will speak like that. I think Ronaldo is a professional. I think through and through he will stick to it, the instruction, and follow whatever needs to be done, in order to win. But I feel like maybe there's a fear, as a coach, you also fear, how do I tell this person what to do? Because How will
You
you?
know his record as well. You're
Yeah.
like, yo, yeah.
Besides record, an ego. You're dealing with Casemiro here, right? And you're gonna
Yeah.
say to him, Casemiro, I prefer to put Fred, over you because I like Fred. He's got a nice hairstyle, and you know, how, like I say, as a coach like him, how does he go and try and motivate or get that guy? Because he just bought him now. I mean, probably the second last signing since he got
Mm.
it. After that was Anthony, and Anthony
Anthony.
he
Yeah.
comes in with follow instructions. He's scoring every game so far.
Mm.
He's doing what needs to be done. So you get Rashford also, who comes in and he just scores when he needs to. He contributes. Martial, he's now awoke again. He's got 3 goals so far. So all of these things, it almost looks like, what, these youngsters are giving me what I need because I could maybe talk over them. But again, it still questions the part where if any of what he's doing is actually has got longevity, can it make him go all the way up from here, or is there an opportunity again to start losing points along the way? Like it's doubtable, and maybe one has to question whether he's really got a formula in place, a winning formula.
I think with that, only time will tell, eh?
Yeah.
Yep.
Because well, we can talk about him till we blue in the face, but only time will tell. We'll see what happens. Because hey, this month is like congestion galore. So
No idea.
he's definitely gonna have to rotate. He's definitely gonna have to put in the big name players and the young players. So we'll
Think
just
about
see the performance.
think about it. In the last 6 games, he's only lost 1 game, and that was to Man City, right? Um,
Mm.
every other game is won. So there is a momentum that is building, but
Yeah. No, no,
Mm.
look, I agree. Hence, I'm
No, but
saying,
then Tangeni did say after beating Liverpool, the we'll see what happens, and then they build their momentum
yeah,
uh, gradually from there.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see, let's see.
Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Hey,
Yeah.
and talking about Liverpool, Arsenal versus Liverpool, number one on the league.
Again,
Arsenal.
no number on the league. Where are you guys
Hey,
now? Come on.
yeah, we're not in the top six, so we don't even count.
10
So, hey,
points in 10 games, man. That's what you are.
no, dude, uh, our performances is just ridiculous. I think defensively, Arsenal scored in the first minute of the game.
yeah,
And I think all 3 goals were defensive errors, in my opinion. Defensively, we are lacking. We we don't have cohesion. Uh, every team knows. Go to the right hand side, and we'll come on through. Matip and Trent, quite bad for me. Uh, Tsimikas was attacking too much, forgetting his defensive duties. The one thing that I'm glad about with this game, 4 of our attackers contributed goals. Diaz assisted, Darwin Nunes scored, um, Jota assisted, Firmino scored. I know Salah didn't have any contribution, but uh, but
That's what
four
Nunes
of
did,
the
by the way.
five.
That's what Nunes
Hmm?
did anyway when he scored. He
Oh
said,
yeah.
Salah.
I was actually personally, I was thinking, hey, bruh, it's too soon to be doing that. but
Nah,
He's got an ego, boy. He's got an ego.
but as a striker should, you know, they work with confidence,
Fair point.
and you know, he needs to terrorize the players. He needs to show his ego. So
Amen. Not everyone can do that. Only Zlatan can pull that through. Not everyone can do it.
can pull it off.
Yeah.
maybe it's the replacement for Zaltin, eh?
No.
You never know.
For now, it's no.
People
I
come up.
love Nunez, but
No, I'm not saying
no,
at the same stature, but he might be able to pull it off because remember,
there's no
all he
one like
needs.
Zlatan, bro.
Yeah. Zlatan at the age of 17 was playing for Inter Milan already, and he was already doing stuff. In fact, at the age of 20, he was already at Inter Milan, coming from Ajax. And he was already pulling stuff. He was already like top scorer and what might not.
Mm.
Yeah, look, I hear you, but it's just that you see, and I don't know how George is gonna read that to say when Nunes does this to Ezekiel saying "crybaby Sana." What does it? What does it mean? What does it mean in the change room? Because remember, like I said, and it was a rumor, but now game
Mm.
after game, it's almost coming to be a reality where it's more like Salah gave the coach an ultimatum. Because remember, Salah was the first one to say he's leaving Liverpool
Yeah.
before Mane story came up. So it seems like he says, if you want me to stay, then he goes.
Yeah.
Story. Now, players, you know how players are. They trust each other. They know who they to trust in the team and everything. So suddenly now, when Mane, who they trust because they knew he's the one who runs for them, is leaving and nothing is happening, it breaks the team spirit.
Yeah.
Now everybody look at Salah and say, okay, fine, you wanted him gone. Show us what to do. Now Salah,
Mm.
he's even struggling to do an assist.
He's struggling to do anything this season.
I don't think he was
And
even on the pitch against Arsenal.
No, he came. Firmino came in for him.
Yes, in the
yeah,
second half, dude. Not,
Mm.
so
no,
that's
is
the
it?
point. That's the scariest part, guys, about Salah to say, look, he's and now the sad part is that even if there was no truth about him and
To that. Yeah.
yeah, now it seems like there is. I mean, you know what's scary, guys? There's the stats are bad for him, eh?
There are. He's the most overpaid non-scorer at Liverpool right now.
Dude. Dude.
So,
From being celebrated
yeah,
to being
yeah. Look, he's having a rough patch.
frowned upon.
Yeah, but overall, I think the game, Luis Diaz, shame. Unfortunately, he had to be. I think that's
Yeah.
who Firmino came in for, man.
Firmino came in for Luis Diaz, but Salah came in for Fabinho. I
Fabinho
mean,
came in for
uh, for Salah. Mm.
a midfielder. What is Fabinho? A midfielder.
CDM.
Uh, so they couldn't even replace like for like. They just thought, he's useless in the.
But you know what? Jota came in for Elliot. So, yeah.
No, man, the other way around, George. Elliot came in for Jota. Jota started the game.
Where's my head? Where's my head at, man?
Yeah, no, it's a loss. It does that to me. It's called
Yeah.
losing Liverpool syndrome. It starts messing up with your mind.
Yeah. So I tell you now, I was just yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, George,
Yeah. So this
there was
game, Mari, tell me something. What do you think of the refereeing decisions? Do you
yeah.
think?
I was about to start there. Is that I think actually the penalty appeal. I don't know what's wrong. Why wasn't it given? The ball that hit Gabriel on his hand.
Yeah, his hand
I don't know
and
why that wasn't given. That is for me a penalty.
a penalty. Yeah.
Don't know, man.
Even the penalty that was awarded, that was quite soft. They you just felt a little something,
Yeah,
but they're given. I understand they're given. If you are being touched in
Yeah,
the box and then you fall,
yeah,
that they're given. I get it.
yeah.
But why don't you become consistent, you know, in whatever you do?
That's why
But hey,
that's where VAR is really, really, messed up football, or rather.
letting our teams down, our
Yeah, yeah,
football down.
yeah. There was an offside that was called offside, and
Mm.
so forth. There was just, yeah, it felt,
A lot of errors.
yeah, it felt like how Chelsea, by, who's that, Anthony Taylor, that coach against Chelsea, who he just kept on giving bad things, where he even gave a red card to Reece James in one of the
And
games.
it wasn't Rios James.
You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying is the referee was just poor on the day.
But you know what? It's part and parcel of football.
Yeah,
You know, human error. We don't want it to happen, but hey, uh, it is what it is. You
yeah,
know, those curveballs that football throws at us,
yeah, yeah,
which you know, FIFA and the bodies are trying to mitigate around. But hey, human error will always be part of football, and we
yeah.
need. But I feel that we should have closed off this game. Me, yeah,
Yeah.
yes,
We
Just
should
to
have
give
closed
you
it.
a different perspective, because I'm one of the people that we are called so-called beneficiaries of penalties. 3 penalties in one game. But anyway, that's for another state. That Gabriela handball, I'm
yeah.
not disputing that it hit his arm. But now let's look at the reaction time.
The what?
Reaction time
Okay.
between when the ball was kicked to him with the arm would
Natural
would
position.
no, let's leave the natural position because he was going into a defense mode, going to block.
Yeah.
So this anticipation was not for him to almost cross the ball the way he did. You get my point. So he's
Yes.
moving. When you're moving towards one, you can't move with a, a natural position. Let's be honest. When you walk, you don't walk in natural position. You
Sure.
move your arms. So
Sure.
same as when you're running towards somebody. So, and I'm just giving a different perspective. I'm not saying
No.
yeah, you were.
Hey, you have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm saying the reaction time, is it reasonable enough for us to call it a penalty? Or are we saying, eh, look, there was no way, even if he wanted to move his arm to the back, he would have done it in that split second. So that is another way of looking at it. And look, we had a huge debate here, my neighbors, and I said, look, that's the thing with VAR. It's a pity they
Mm.
don't give us their verbal conclusion. If they've given a verbal conclusion to say, look,
This
uh,
is the reason why we
this is
didn't
the
give it.
reason
This
why
is the
we didn't
reason why we
we
gave it,
give it. Yeah,
and all of that. This is what we see. This is what we don't see. Yeah.
exactly. So I think that's where we
You know,
end up.
like TMO and rugby, you could
Yes,
kind of hear what the referee is
and
talking
he
about, was
explains
saying,
it.
all of that.
Hmm. But that
Yeah.
doesn't mean
So
that we're always gonna agree. We might even disagree with that
no,
opinion.
that's true. But at least we'll understand and we'll kind of get where they're coming from.
Yeah, but anyway, I was just wanted to throw in a different angle to it.
Yeah. Look, I mean, yeah. Think about when you jump for a ball and you hit it. In this process or in this momentum, you then hit with your elbow.
The knee, the elbows.
You hit a player into the face, right? And that gets red card, or penalty, right?
Yeah,
Your
fact.
intention was focusing on the ball. It's like how, remember when Mane went kicking the ball and then he kicked
Yes,
the City
exactly.
goalkeeper.
Oh yeah.
It, it, I mean, he was looking at the ball and he took his studs up, not knowing that this guy is approaching, right?
Will come through. Yeah.
Yes. But what I'm saying is that I feel, yes, those things are there in football where the because of the momentum, I mean, you cannot pull your leg in middle air or in mid action at the speed of 40 kilometers per hour and stop it from moving, you know? Uh, uh,
We are not robots.
yes, we're not robots like that. That
We're
thing
not
will happen
Holland.
and it will, you'll hit the person. And unfortunately, the referee will then call it, that because, the belief is that you should be understanding that in football you cannot play like that. There could be someone next to you. So similarly
Uh-huh.
with this handball that was not given a red card or a penalty, I feel that for the fact that the arms were out of natural position and it hit the head, it should be called. But you're right. Maybe there's another reason as to, hey,
So
maybe,
what?
you know, this and that. I don't know. I just feel like in 99% of the time, that would have been given a yellow card. I mean, a penalty.
A penalty.
Yeah, it just,
Yeah. No, that I agree. Hence, I'm saying, look,
You're
one,
just playing devil's advocate here.
yeah,
yeah.
one
Yeah.
moment it happens, one moment doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen.
How, it baffles me. But like I said, when you start having this conversation, then you start looking at the other side of the coin.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But
Right, right, right.
unlucky, man, unlucky, unlucky. You're having it bad. I know.
No, 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 no. Hey, you know what? I can't even concentrate, man. I'm
Now,
like, hey.
Wednesday you play against Rangers, so it's uh,
Hopefully I'll perk back up for that one.
yeah,
But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been 1 hour, 60 minutes. Uh, so before we leave, I just want a brief snippet from Ntangeni about the 3-1 victory. Kaiser Chiefs and 0-0 Pirates. If y'all managed to see the games, and then we can say goodbye to everybody.
I, look,
Ntangeni,
you're putting me on the spot there because I'm more,
Stellenbosch, uh, 3-1 Kaiser
yeah,
Chiefs.
I'm a little bit more on the spot on this one because I'm more biased. But look, we like people were commenting, we've got our own Holland.
Oh yes, I saw that.
Look, and I'm not saying, of course, it's not as lethal as Haaland, but we're saying, considering the situation, we're saying
Yeah.
it's Haaland because he's always in the kitchen. He doesn't shy
Mm,
away from being in the kitchen. Even if you look at the first minute, how he touched the ball inside the box, all of those things, he he is. And just to assist the people, I went and I reviewed all the penalties.
mm.
Tried to look at them different angles. It takes us back to the Liverpool Arsenal game. It's either given or not given. The two were straightforward. The other one was a
Mm.
little bit soft. But then again, like I said, it's a 50-50 call. It's a scary part that three penalties in one game.
In one game, yeah.
In one game.
And a red card.
I, and I think, I mean, the captain had it coming. He was frustrated. The guy, Caleb was frustrating him.
Yeah.
I mean, you the last man. I mean, you the captain, like you were saying. We're talking about the captains for Chelsea. You are
so
the last man. You
yeah.
can see the game. You can see everything. Why? I mean, the first rule. I was a defender. I was a coach. I know. The first rule is the last man. Under no circumstances do
Do
you
they
go
pass?
on the ground.
Mm.
That's the first rule of being the last man. What did he do? He cluttered and he still uses both his legs. He leaves the ref no choice but to give the red card because you're the last man.
Mm.
So, it is a difficult one, but like I said, I'll take the win and then listen to the noise later. But coming to
But this is
Pirates,
football. A win is a win, whether it's penalties, whether it's 1-0. But a win is a win is a win, eh?
and I'm worried about Pirates, and when I'm worried about Pirates, is because I know Pirates might show me the flames on the 29th.
Yeah,
Hey,
When Pirates are
KB
having bad games like this,
runs.
they make
We
Chiefs suck.
take it out on Chiefs.
Yeah,
Mm.
you know, Pirates, they will tell you, even if they're number 10, as long as they beat Chiefs, they're okay.
yeah. But for me, and this is looking now, the game against, on the weekend. Pirates is
Yeah,
still battling with
against
scoring.
Richard Bay.
Yeah, Pirates is still battling with scoring. In terms of defending goals and keeping clean sheets, we sort of, are able to do that. We've kept a clean sheet
Mm.
against Sundowns. I mean, we've collected a lot of clean sheets this season. Not to say that we haven't conceded any goals, but against Chiefs, you'll find that we'll probably not concede a goal, but at the same time we'll fail to score.
Not score. Like we spent the whole of second half with an extra man, but didn't really make
Yeah,
use of it.
yeah. So it's one of those things about Pirates this season, and that's one thing I like about the coach Jose. I think he knows how to keep the shop closed at the back, but we need to figure out what we need up front.
Up front, yeah.
Uh,
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Hey, this is Tavern Talk. Re lebogile Nelenale Runa. This is us. This is Tangeni. This is KB. Last words, then we out. KB, last words.
Thank you very much, man. Yeah, look, beautiful football round, like in Tangeni gratefully said in his intro. Yeah, we've got massive football coming this week. Chelsea against AC Milan, Barcelona versus Inter Milan. There's quite a lot of football happening this week, Champions League. So yeah, excited about that. Can't wait.
Tangeni.
Before I say my goodbyes, congratulations to Sundowns. I know it sounds pretty much obvious for them to have won that way, but that's what champions do. Whether you give
Mm.
them a small team or a big team, they must show that they are champions. Congratulations to them. Well done. I
I must
hope.
say, you can only beat the team that's in front of you.
Thank you. It's that they didn't make it there by mistake. So, yeah,
Mm.
they were beaten. And then, look, guys, it's going to be a very interesting month of October when you look at football all around, not just locally, including internationally, because now we're going to start seeing players pulling hamstrings, players claiming a knock. Guess what? World Cup is around the corner. Don't want to get injured before the World Cup. Watch. Wait.
How do you play
I'm
if you don't want to
predicting.
get injured?
I'm
Yeah.
predicting that somebody's gonna say, "I think I pulled the hamstring." Then they're gonna sit down. I'm predicting
Mm.
that we're gonna have a couple of players that want to make it, and then after they've been taking off for a week or two, then they will be cleared to say they're good to play. Then, but they're not fit. They're not match fit.
Mm.
By the time they go to the national team, then they regain their fitness. I'm more or less. I'll give you 4 players. Watch this space. I'll follow that one.
How many players are you talking about in the PSL or in the EPL?
No, I'm talking EPL, Europe, not just
Okay,
EPL, just Europe in general. To say
got
you're
you.
gonna start having these players who know, like for instance, players who play in the EPL,
Yeah.
players who play in the Italian league, players who play in the Bundesliga. Those are leagues that don't take,
Great.
yeah. So they're hard, they are fast, they're you know, and Italians are good at defending and kicking.
Yeah.
So some players, I'm telling you, you watch this space, they will start, almost like pulling back, if
All
not
right, all right, all
taking it.
right. We'll get to that next weekend, ladies and gentlemen.
That is my
That's
point.
been us. So please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to us. And we appreciate you watching all the way to here. All right. This been us. This been Tavern Talk. Peace.
Tanko.
Tanko.